Let's look at the demonstration of using generic interface and method. We'll start with a generic interface called processor. It is going to take type parameter t representing the type of data it will be processing. I'm going to have one method called process which will take input of type t and will return the value of type t. So type process and is going to accept type input. Next, let's try to implement this interface with a class and let's name the class as string processor. It is going to implement processor. So I'm going to say the type as string. Previously, we used the identifier t in your interface and now I'm mentioning the type as string. Now inside the string processor, we are going to implement the process method that was mentioned in the processor interface. Public. I'm going to make the process method as string type, string process, string input, return input dot to uppercase. I'm trying to define the method that I had inside my interface, and this method is going to convert the input into uppercase. And also this method is a string type method. Now let's move to create a new class called utility to demonstrate the generic methods. Class utility will create a static generic method of type t print array. So this method is going to take generic type of array. So since we have array, I'm using a for each loop, the element array, print the element. Now this print array method is going to take array of any type as an argument, since we have mentioned t as the identifier here, and even when it is going to print the element, it is going to print of any type. It's going to support for string array or integer array and so on. Let's try to call our main method. Since my class file is generic utility inside I'm trying to call my main method inside my public generic utility. Adding my main method. First, let's try to create an instance for string processor and call the process method. Also, the process method will look for type string. Let's pass a string also for that. So string processor, it is looking for type pass string. This is equals to new string processor. Now, if you look at it, I have passed the string processor class itself, but string processor class does not have type parameter. The reference that I should be making here should be processor interface, and to that I'm trying to pass string type. And here I'm using a reference variable, and then my reference variable should also be referring the interface, and I'm trying to create an object called string processor for the class string processor. And let's try to print out processor.process, and here I'm going to pass hello world. So here what we are doing is we are trying to demonstrate the generic interface. Next, let's use printArray method in the utility by passing it an integer of 1, 2, and 3, and let's print each integer in the array. So I'm going to use integer array numbers and 1, 2, 3. Now here my print array is an static method. I don't have to create any instance. I'm just going to call the class name and the method. Try to pass this method was looking for array type. So I'm passing the integer array type to this. Let's try to run and see whether it prints the string from the processor, and this string should be in the uppercase. I'm going to pass lowercase hello, W is still uppercase, and second one should be printing my number. So my string processor is returning uppercase from our method definition inside string processor class, and my utility is printing the array. So this example is demonstrating your generic interface and generic method and how generics can work with various data types to increase code reusability and type safety. I'm going to wrap up this session about generics. So we saw two examples that was covering Java generics, generic classes, generic interface, methods, type bounds, multiple type parameters, wildcards, and bounded wildcards. With generics, Java code becomes more reusable, flexible, and type safe, making it ideal for handling data of various types in a consistent, efficient way. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps and clarifies how to use generics effectively in Java. Bye.